Hey everybody, I wanted to talk to you today about perpetual budget funding, and we'll take a look at this here. We do have a video here on our website and then a description if you want to roll down and read about a little more about that. Um, in the essence of it is this right here. So let's watch this quickly.
Why pay a bank when you can pay a charity? If your business accepts credit cards, you can do just that with sharing the credit. Everyone has to pay fees, but you can control who gets some of those fees, the banks or the charity you want to help. The banks have enough. Help those who don't. Give it to a cause you love with sharing the credit.
So that's really it in a nutshell. Basically, what happens is we call it perpetual budget funding because that's what it actually does. But we use a program with the Meridian Foundation called Sharing the Credit, who's recruited us to be an ambassador for them. And you can schedule your appointment to get a rate review appointment. They'll look at your last months of statements, you fax them in, and they'll show you exactly how much you can save. So normally what we do when we are doing business consulting for people, this is one of the first things that we'll do. We have a couple different levels of service. If you're 1 to 20 million, that's the target business size that we're looking for. You've realized that something needs to change, and our value-based business advisory service has 3 different levels. So we want you to get engaged with us and then just pick up to 4 deliverables that you want to start working on. You can scroll down and look at the list of services here that we can start with in level 1. That's just about every business needs those. Level 2, everybody needs these depending on what stage of your business you're in, starting, middle, or exit planning. And then level 3, these are more for towards the end of the business when you want to scale and sail and then get your pension together and step into your legacy stage. So if you want to execute a contract with us and get engaged, just click right here. This will bring up DocuSign. You can go through and go ahead and put your information in there and get started, okay? So that's how that works. And then let's go ahead and look at back to perpetual budget funding. You'll find that under services. And what this is going to show us is how much money you can save. So if we take a look at your company here, I just talked to a company that was doing 12 million. They're doing 1 million a month in sales. They had gone from 700,000 up to 12. So this will show you 12 million. We should be able to find about $258,000 for them, not just one time, but each and every year going forward, as long as all their sales 100% comes from credit cards. So if it's only 77%, then it would be a little bit lower. If most people paid cash and only 10% of their sales came from credit cards, then they're 12 million. We'd only be able to save them 25,000 a year. But this business was a YouTube company, and they sell ads, big tickets, and do advertising. So I think 100% of their monies came from ads. So on that 12 million, we should be able to, our found money program is we should be able to find them 258,000. The business will experience on average about $192,000 of savings each and every year. And out of the back end invisible cost structure of the bank fee on the merchant interchange, some words that you're probably not familiar with, but we have a special and unique trade secret way of cutting out a chunk of that money to send that to the charity of your choice. So if you've chosen Children's Hospital, you could send $66,000 a year in the name of Clint Eastwood to Children's Hospital each and every year, and they would receive a donation that said from Clint Eastwood for $66,000 a year. And this money does not come out of the business, not one penny. So this is savings to the business and then money out of the back end bank referral fee that goes to the charity of your choice. So you get credit. You're basically creating $258,000 of savings for yourself and benefit to a charity that you love that you wish you could give more to. So what we do is we usually charge 10% on the savings. So that would be 25,800. We do what's called 10 for 10. We'll charge 10% of the savings for 10 years. So you keep the rest of it, and then out of that we'll keep 25,000 for 10 years. Then the rest is all yours going forward. How does this work more specifically? Let's go into how this works more specifically, and we will look at the credit card volume. So we do look at your merchant services account. This is specifically one thing we do on our service list at every company, because making you money with advertising is one thing we can do, but it's super easy to do cost reduction, our cost reduction program. So we can focus on electric costs if you're not getting government money to go green. Cost reduction is really something that we can do with perpetual budget funding. So you'll see that there. Let's get back here. So let's dig into this real quick and then we'll let you go. So if your credit card volume, if you're doing 12 million a year, 1 million a month, then the average company out there, there's a couple different kinds of rates, and let's just look at those kinds of rates quickly here. Okay, well, we'll just go into it. So 29%, 2.9% is what the average company is paying when we look at all the thousands of companies that we talk to. Now, some of those are 5%, and they're really getting a high rate, and we can save them. You know, this amount would be double. This would be, what, if you double that, 516,000 a year. But the average company, we're just giving you averages because we haven't looked at your merchant services statement from last month. You need to send that in to us so we can get to work. But 2.9 cents is the average, and on average, we get everyone cut in half or even more. It's a little more than half. And right now, they would be paying on 2.9% on every transaction. PayPal, Square, Wise Merchant Services, the worst they could charge you is 3% for high-risk cards, but they charge you that every time. So that's really the rub, and we can give you the exact risk rate of each card swipe. Debit card's always the cheapest. You want debit cards every time if you can, because that's the lowest risk. But card not present might be 3 or 4%. So in this company, they're doing $1 million a month. They're paying $29,000 a month at 2.9%. If we take that $1 million a month and drop it to 1.3, they're not paying $29,000 in junk fees or Visa, MasterCard merchant fees every month. We can get it down usually to, on average, $13,000. So you save the $16,000. So instead of spending $348,000 in fees every year, you only spend $156,000, and that's where the saving comes from. Now, if you're a charity that wants to take advantage of these repeating donations, we do have a high ticket item. This $50,000 2-day training will fly a team in to train you, and then we can go over your ROI. But just for the business owner, your value proposition is that you save $190,000, not just one time, but each and every year going forward. And then we share in that savings of 10%, and then you're also giving to the charity of your choice. It's at the rate of $66,000 each and every year going forward. Okay, so if you want to take a look at, we do have a Facebook page, and if you come on here and you scroll down, you can see this is a great example. Just local church or local charity, and what they did is they just started going to 30 businesses around their area. You wouldn't know them if you drove 30 miles, and they got them to name them as the beneficiary of the back end fee. So business 1 did $114,000 a month. Business 2, barely anything. This guy's doing 180, 86, 152. So they got their first business, then their second on board, and their third, and said, hey, would you name us, Children's Hospital, as the beneficiary of this 501c3 back-end fee that Meridian Credit cuts the check to? So each of these businesses, if you add up their credit card processing, they switch their credit card processor to us, our program, and what we did is cut out all the junk fees and save them the money and allow them to pick the charity of their choice. So if you add all this up, it came to about $2 million a month, and it spun off about $11,000 a month. So at $11,000 a month to you, here's how we fund your charity slowly and scale its budget and reach the effectiveness with repeating budget funding that continues coming in automatically every year with no donations from any business. So this money does not come out of the business, to be absolutely clear. So if you're this charity and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just a startup, I don't qualify for grants, you can actually get, in this example, if we got you $2 million of processing from 20 businesses, you'd get an $11,000 check credited to your account. Now the Meridian Foundation only sends a quarterly stacked up check, so you'd have 11, 11, 11, they'd send you a $33,000 check. So we've given this away for free. People haven't valued it. We found they never got it up and running. So now we have a workshop for about $50,000 for most charities. We'll fly a team in to train you and at least one person on your staff to go do this full time, because they can spend the same amount of energy fundraising one time and get repeating charities versus doing fundraiser every single year with that energy. So the cost for that's $50,000, and that investment would be bringing in $66,000. So the ROI on that is more like 100%, and then the next year it's 200%, and then 300, 400. It just grows every year because you only spend the $50,000 one time. All right, so that's it. If you're a business and if you're doing $1 million a month in credit card processing, I can save you $192,000 to your bottom line on average, and allow you to give $66,000 a year on average to the charity of your choice for total value proposition of $258,000. So that is perpetual budget funding using sharing the credit with the Meridian Foundation, who we are a part of. So at this point, the next steps for you would be to come to our website. If you just watched this video here, what you want to do is scroll down and just schedule your appointment. We watch that together. You're just looking for schedule. There you go. Schedule your appointment. Click this link. And when you click this link, it's going to let you pick a calendar date. Pretty simple. There are some videos you can watch. If you want to read some testimonials, you can go down here and look at the checks. Meridian Foundation, $1,000 check to Habitat for Humanity. Here's another one, $1,200 to Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then these are what people are saying. There's a $30,000 check from the Meridian Foundation to Savannah Schools. And you just look at all these examples here. So bless your local schools, get the kids back in school. What you want to do is fill in your information here, and then you'll get to the next calendar where you pick a day. Okay? That's pretty much it. Thanks so much. You guys have a great day.